Peter Oosterhuis's final moments were heartbreaking as his long battle with Alzheimer's eventually took his life. His passing left many in deep sadness, but his legacy lives on. Even though he never won a major championship, his incredible skill on the course is still remembered and admired today. The best player never to win a major tag is one of those labels that can stick with you. For Oosterhuis, it wasn't something he created or wanted, but it became part of his story. It's a tag that has followed him around for years, and while it might not have been a controversy caused by him directly, it's still one of the more interesting parts of his career. The constant discussion about him not winning a major and the occasional criticism that he should have has always been a bit of a point of contention for many. It's almost like the games community can't quite decide whether Oosterhuis' career is one of brilliant success with a major missing, or if it's a story of what could have been. Despite the lack of major victories, Peter Oosterhuis was no stranger to the top of the leaderboard. He was a consistent contender in major championships and a name you couldn't ignore when it came to big events. His ability to stay competitive at the highest level was undeniable. Over his career, he had 7 top 10 finishes in major tournaments, a statistic that speaks volumes about his skill and consistency. The 1974 Open Championship is a particularly poignant example. On home soil in front of his fellow countrymen, Oosterhuis came heartbreakingly close to capturing his first major. He finished runner-up just behind Gary Player, a golfer who had already cemented his place in the sport's history. But that second-place finish at the Open wasn't just a loss. It was a reminder of how much Oosterhuis had to offer. He was right there, knocking on the door of greatness, showing that he had what it took to compete with the best of the best. It's a loss that never really feels like a true defeat when you consider how he played. Another near miss that sticks out in Oosterhuis' career was the 1973 Masters, where he finished second to Tommy Aaron. The Masters, of course, is one of golf's most prestigious events, and to come so close yet fall short is a heart-wrenching experience for any player. For Oosterhuis, it was a reminder of how fine the line is between success and just missing out. But what makes these near misses even more heartbreaking is the fact that Oosterhuis was a golfer who had the talent to win, and on a different day, with a little more luck, the outcome could have been very different. What set Peter Oosterhuis apart from so many other players was not just his consistency, but also his style of play. He wasn't a power hitter, and he wasn't going to blow you away with sheer distance off the tee. Instead, Oosterhuis was a master of precision and strategy. His swing was elegant and rhythmical, a thing of beauty to watch. There was an effortless grace to it, a smoothness that made golf look like a fluid dance. His swing wasn't about raw power, but about perfect timing and finesse. Every shot seemed well thought out, as if he could calculate exactly how it would land before he even hit it. But it wasn't just his swing that made Oosterhuis stand out, it was his mind. He was often described as an intellectual golfer because of his approach to the game. While some players relied on power and instinct, Oosterhuis relied on careful consideration. He had a deep understanding of the game's nuances, of course management, and of reading the greens. This intellectual approach to the game is what made him different from many of his peers. Oosterhuis didn't simply hit shots. He set them up with a strategic mind that gave him an edge in the long run. He wasn't just a player who relied on his physical gifts, though those were certainly there. Instead, he took a thoughtful, analytical approach to every round. Whether it was managing his way around the course or reading the wind, he had a unique ability to see the game in a different way than others, and that's what made him so special. Oosterhuis' story is one of immense talent, dedication, and resilience, and it all started on May 3, 1948, in London. Born to a Dutch father and an English mother, Oosterhuis had a unique blend of cultural influences that shaped his path. He grew up in England and was educated at Dulwich College, where his early interest in golf began to take shape. In 1966, Oosterhuis showed the golfing world just how special he was. He won the Berkshire Trophy by a single stroke over Michael Bonelak, closing with a remarkable round of 67 that included 9 threes and 11 holes. Later that year, he also won the British Youths Open Amateur Championship by 4 strokes, cementing his place as one of the brightest young talents in the game. Oosterhuis didn't just win individual titles, he was a key player in team events as well. He was a regular for England and Great Britain in various team competitions, including the Home Internationals, the Walker Cup, and the Eisenhower Trophy. It was in the 1967 Walker Cup that he made his debut for Great Britain, where he played alongside Ronnie Shade in the foursomes, winning one match and having the other. He also represented Great Britain in the 1968 Eisenhower Trophy, where the team won the silver medal. Turning professional in November 1968, Oosterhuis quickly made an impact in the golfing world. He kicked off his career in South Africa in 1969, finishing runner-up to Bobby Cole in the Natal Open, a close finish that highlighted his ability to compete under pressure. His first significant win came in 1969 when he triumphed at the Sunningdale Foursomes, partnering with amateur Peter Benke. The following year, Oosterhuis was named Sir Henry Cotton Rookie of the Year. As the 1970s began, Oosterhuis' success on the European Tour continued to grow. He won the Lord Derby's Under-23 professional tournament and the Coca-Cola Young Professionals Championship, among other titles. In 1971, he notched his first major British win with the Agfa Gewert tournament and went on to capture several more titles, including the Sunbeam Electric Tournament and the Piccadilly Medal. That same year, he represented Great Britain in the Ryder Cup, defeating legends like Gene Littler and Arnold Palmer in singles matches. Oosterhuis' career reached its peak in the early 1970s, as he won the Order of Merit 4 times and became one of the best players in Europe. He finished second in the 1973 Masters, a performance that still stings for many who followed his career. Leading by 3 strokes going into the final round, Oosterhuis couldn't hold off Tommy Aaron, finishing tied for third. However, despite all his successes, a major championship eluded him, and this became the defining story of his career. In 1975, after several near misses, Oosterhuis' performance at the U.S. Open was another close call. He was in contention for the title before a string of bogeys dashed his hopes, leaving him tied for 7th. He would go on to play in the 1975 Ryder Cup, where he defeated Johnny Miller and J.C. Snead in singles, but the big wins on the PGA Tour remained just out of reach. Oosterhuis' breakthrough came in 1981 when, at the age of 33, he captured his only PGA Tour victory at the Canadian Open. He won by a single stroke, beating the likes of Jack Nicklaus, Andy North, and Bruce Lietzke. It was a sweet moment for a player who had always been on the cusp of greatness, and it showcased his ability to perform on the biggest stages. Despite this victory, Oosterhuis' career started to slow down in the mid-1880s. He played until 1986, before stepping away from the touring circuit. From 1987 to 1993, he served as the director of golf at prestigious clubs like Forest Gate Country Club in New Jersey and the Riviera Country Club in California, but he never fully stepped away from golf. In 1993, Oosterhuis made a brief comeback, playing in 13 European Tour events, though he didn't make the cut in any of them. He then transitioned into a successful broadcasting career. For over 2 decades, he was a prominent golf analyst, covering the PGA Tour for Sky Sports, the BBC, and later CBS Sports. His insightful commentary and deep understanding of the game made him a well-respected voice in the sport. Sadly, in 2015, Oosterhuis retired from broadcasting after revealing that he had been diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's disease. His passing after battling the disease was a tragic moment for the golfing community, as fans remembered not just his talent, but also the thoughtful, graceful approach he brought to the game. And that's a wrap for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an update. See you next time. Bye.